Hi guys, story time. I remember back then when I was still, in the world, I didn't have direction like that. Okay, I had God, I loved God and all that, but then I wasn't really so committed with Him. I'll be honest with you, something happened to me. I remember I was staying with these three girls, we were renting one room. Oh, we were struggling, right? So I remember one of those girls were clubbing, and for me, I was just being this child of God. I could read my Bible, I could, pray and do all those things, all the nice things that Christian girls do. That was me. But one day, I felt like one day, as these girls went for clubbing, I stayed at home, and power went. When power went, I was like, you know what? I think let me just pray and just spend time with God and all that, and after I will sleep, right? And that's what I did exactly. Guess what happened when I slept? I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. There is this attack that sometimes comes and it's like it's sitting on you. It's like a dark thing, a dark spirit. It sits on you and you feel so drained and you feel like you're suffocating, right? So that thing happened to me that day. And remember, I had just prayed. I had just read my Bible and prayed. Eventually, actually, I didn't even have a candle in the house. It was very dark, and my phone had went off because battery was low, and it went off. So I stayed there. Then I was like, you know what? Let me pray after I'm going to sleep. So I slept. When I slept, I had that dream. It was a dark dream. I felt so bad. I felt like I started blaming God. I'm like, God, why is it that you didn't protect me? I prayed before I slept, for crying out loud. Why didn't you, protect me? So that was it. And I felt mad at him that the next day, when these girls were going for clubbing, they were like, because they could always, tell me, Shakira, let's go together, let's go to club and all that. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't drink, I don't do all those things, right? But this day, because I was mad at God, I was like, I'm not even going to stay here. Let me go with these girls and check it out. Guess what? We went for clubbing. So that day, that night, actually it was at night, we went. It's a long story, but I'll just, share this portion that I want to, to put some light on. We went in different clubs. In one night, I think we went in 5 clubs. Five. There's this club we went into. There was this guy that was in his 80s. His 80s. He was old, and he was there seated. I remember this guy gave me an eye. Do you know, sitting here and someone is seated there, but they are looking at you like as if they know you on a personal level, as if he was like, do you know those looks? He didn't say a word actually, but he gave me that look of like questioning me, like, what are you doing here? That look, only a look that said a word, that what are you doing here? And I'm like, why is this guy so weird? You know? But then it was God. It was God passing through people because that night I was like, what am I doing here? I felt so guilty just by that guy's walk. Because it's like he knew me. It's like he was as if he knows that I'm not supposed to be there. I was so convicted that night, and I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this again in my life. I'm not going back to that club, regardless of how I feel about God, regardless of how I feel like God, betrayed me. He did ask me when I called him, like, he let that thing happen to me. So yeah, it was for my good. So I want to encourage you guys that keep trusting God regardless, because God loves you. And don't do things because you're trying to get back at God. Like, God is just perfect. Some things happen to us not because it's God's fault. As a person, I have a lot of questions. I'll be like, because I don't look at things just like that. I look at things like in a deeper way, like I look at everything on a deeper level. I have a lot of questions, to ask God and all that. But then we will never understand everything. We will never understand why everything has to happen the way it's happening, because looking at everything that is going on in this world, you'll be questioning yourself, like, where is God? Like, like, can't you see what's going on and all that? But yeah, we are not here to understand everything, but to do the right thing. So, for me, I learned a lot from that, and I knew that God was with me even when I was, backsliding, kind of, And even when I thought that I was just doing my life and I'm making my decisions out of anger or out of something like that. If anyone was to be hurt, it wasn't going to be good. I was going to be the one to, take the consequences of my actions. So let's behave and stay in a relationship with God, because He's perfect, He's loyal, He loves us. There is nothing that He doesn't see, there is nothing that He cannot do. He's just the best. So I really love you guys. If you don't have a personal relationship with God, start it today. He loves you and I love you too.